Hello students, welcome to today's session of solution. So today we will see solution question part 3. So what we will do is we will practice question from 17 to 24 that comprises total of 8 questions. Now in this question series I will be reading this question slowly and loudly, as well as I will be giving you 10 seconds to solve this question. After 10 seconds I will make you see the correct answer plus the explanation. If you are not able to solve it, then you can match your approach with the explanation. Okay, so this is the first thing. Second thing, I would say that since I am reading the question slowly and loudly, you can utilize that time also to solve your question. So let us begin with this. Disclaimer: the images used in our slide deck are for educational purposes only. We respect the intellectual property rights of the original creators and owners of these images. If you are the owner of any of the images used in this deck and have any concerns or issues, please contact us at sathi@iitk.ac.in and we shall remove the images. Okay. Question number 17. The vapor pressure of water at 20 degrees Celsius is 17.5 mmHg. If 18 gram glucose C6H12O6 is added to 178.2 gram of H2O at 20 degrees Celsius, the vapor pressure of the resulting solution will be, your options are A 16.500 mm of Hg, B 17.325 mm of Hg, C 17.675 mm of Hg, and D 15.750 mm of Hg. So the hint for this question would be that since we are adding a non-volatile solid which is glucose to water, so it will reduce its vapor pressure. So you will use the corresponding formula which is for the lowering of the vapor pressure to find the correct answer. Okay, so your time starts now. So your time is up. Let us see the correct answer. So for those who have solved, the correct answer is B. How can we solve it? So we know that the relative lowering of vapor pressure is written in this way. So this is the lowering of vapor pressure in relation with the original vapor pressure. So that will be given by the mole fraction of the solute, that is W2 by M2 by total number of moles, W1 by M1 plus W2 by M2. Okay, that is N1 by N1 plus N2, where N1 is the number of moles of 1 and N2 is the, sorry, N2 by N1 plus N2, where N2 is the number of moles of solute and N1 plus N2 is the total number of moles. Now putting the values here, so we know that for the pure solvent it is 17.5. Okay, so it is 17.5 here. Later on you can substitute 17.5 here also, and you have to calculate P1. Okay, further we know that 18 gram is there, so 18 gram and 178.2 kgs of what, grams of what, water. So we have put this thing here also. Now see, we have substituted this P naught also with 17.5. Now we'll calculate this thing further, which will give you 17.325 mm of Hg as your correct answer, which is option number B. Now the concept behind this question is that when we add the non-volatile solute to the water, the Raoult's law is applicable, and using the Raoult's law we have derived this formula. And what it says that when you are adding a non-volatile solute to water, then the amount of water vapor that was to be formed is not the actual one that is formed upon adding the solute, because of the interruption or because of the non-volatile nature of the solute. Clear? So that is the reason behind the drop of the vapor pressure, and hence we are getting this 17.325 instead of 17.5 mm Hg. Clear? Moving on to the next question. Question number 18. A and B are ideal gas. The molecular weight of A and B are in ratio 1:4. The mixture of gas, the pressure of a gas mixture containing equal weight of A and B is P atm. Okay. What is the partial pressure of B in the mixture? Your options are P by 5, B P by 2, C P by 2.5 and D 3P by 4. So it is being said here that the molecular weight are in the ratio 1:4 and the pressure of the gas mixture containing equal weight of A and B is P atm. So what is the partial pressure of B in the mixture? So again, what you will do, so molecular weight is given, right? Molecular weight is given, and what is being given else? So it is given that the pressure of the gas mixture is given. Okay, pressure of the gas mixture which contain A and B both. So you will use the Dalton's law of partial pressure to solve this question. Okay, I think this much hint is even enough to solve this question. So the time starts now. So your time is up. Let us see how can we solve it. For those who have solved, the correct answer is A. So this is the ratio of the molecular weight of A and B. So what will be the ratio of molar ratio? So it will be 4:1 because number of moles is inversely proportional to the molecular weight. What will be the ratio of partial pressure? So it will be 1/5 into P. Clear? So how it is so? How can we say that this is 1/5? So since the molar ratio is 4:1, therefore we can just get what? We can get the mole fraction from here. So the mole fraction from here will be what? It will be 1/5 because 1 is the number of moles of B and 5 is the total number of moles. Or if you are assuming the ratio as x, then x is the number of moles of B and 5x is the total number of moles. So that gets cancelled out when we calculate the mole fraction and we get 1/5. Now partial pressure of B is equals to what? Pa into P naught A, right? So Pa into P naught A is the partial pressure. So the pressure of the gas containing equal weight of the total pressure is given. So you have to calculate the partial pressure in the vapor phase. You have to calculate the partial pressure in the vapor phase. P total is here. Okay, so sorry, this is P total and your mole fraction is here. So Pa equal to Ya P total. We have used this formula and got it as P/5. So your correct answer is A. Moving on to the next question. Question number 19. 18 gram of glucose C6H12O6 is added to 178.2 gram of water. The vapor pressure of water for this aqueous solution is, your options are 76 grams, B 752.4 grams, okay, not grams, 752.4 torr, 759.0 torr and 7.6 torr because the pressure is in torr. Clear? Now after to calculate, so we have to know that what is the vapor pressure of water for this aqueous solution. You have to calculate the partial pressure of the water, okay, of the water vapor, not the water but the water vapor. How we'll do it? So for that you will simply calculate the number of moles and hence you can do it further. Just try it by yourself. So your 10 seconds to solve the question starts now. So your time is up. Let us see how can we solve it. So 18 gram of glucose was added to 178.2 grams of water and the vapor pressure of the water for this aqueous solution is, so for this the correct answer is B, and vapor pressure of water vapor will be 760 torr. How it will be 760 torr? Because we are doing the thing in the open and it is being known that in open the water vapor pressure the vapor pressure will be equal to the atmospheric vapor pressure, which is 760. Clear? Now number of moles of glucose will be how much? So mass by molar mass. Similarly it will give you 0.1. Similarly we can calculate the molar mass of, using the molar mass of water we can calculate the mass of water also, sorry, moles of water also. So that will be 178.2 by 18 gram and hence 9.9 mole will be the number of moles of water. Now we know the number of moles for both and hence that is the total number of moles, it is 10, and mole fraction of gas glucose in solution is equals to change in pressure with respect to the initial pressure. So we can write that relative lowering of vapor pressure is what? Delta P by P naught of water is equals to 0.1 by 10, where 0.1 is the number of moles of what? 0.1 is the number of moles of the glucose and 9.9 is total number of moles of water. So by using that we can calculate this one, which is being given 0.1 by 10. Very clear. So what is delta P? Delta P will be equals to 0.01 P naught, and we know that we are doing the thing in the open, therefore it will be 760 and hence that change in pressure will be 7.6 torr as your correct answer. So 760 minus 7.6 and answer will be 752.4 torr. Clear? So what we have done, first we have calculated the change and then we have used the thing that this say delta P is equals to, if it is equals to 7.6 torr, delta P if it is equal to 7.6 torr, then you have put this P naught value from here and we have found the correct answer. Clear? Okay, moving on to the next. So the vapor pressure of acetone at 20 degrees Celsius is 185 torr when 1.2 gram of a non-volatile substance was dissolved in 100 gram of acetone at 20 degrees Celsius. The vapor pressure was 183 torr. The molar mass of the substance is, your options are A 32 gram, B 64 gram, C 128 gram, and D 488 gram. So it is being given that the vapor pressure of acetone is 185 torr, and you're adding 1.2 gram of non-volatile substance. Clear? And to which we are adding it to 100 gram of acetone and at 20 degrees Celsius. And at that point, means for the solution, the vapor pressure becomes 183 torr. So you have to find the molar mass of the substance. So you will simply use what? Relative lowering of vapor pressure to solve this question. So your 10 seconds to solve this question starts now. Let us see how can we solve it. For those who have solved, the correct answer is B. Okay, so this is the correct answer. So P naught was given 185, and after the addition of this, say, non-volatile substance, it is 183 torr. So we know this one. Now we can calculate the mass of the non-volatile substance, that is given 1.2 gram. We don't need to calculate it, sorry. And the mass of acetone is taken 100 gram. So it is given here. Next, this is the formula P01 by minus P1 by P1 is equals to NB by Na, where we have neglected the number of moles of B. So we have written Na plus NB approximately equals to Na. Now putting all these values, so we know this P01, it is 185, and P1 is equals to 183. Further, we have 1.2 by M, which is the molar mass of the given substance, divided by 100 by 58, which is the molar mass of acetone. So in this way, we can calculate the M. So the capital M will be how much? It will be 63.684, which is 64 gram per mole as your correct answer. Moving on to the next question. Question number 21. 12 gram of non-volatile solute dissolved in 108 gram of water produces the relative lowering vapor pressure of 0.1. The molecular mass of the solid is, your options are 80, B 60, C 20, and D 40. So what is being said in the question, that your 12 gram of non-volatile solute is added to 108 gram of water, and that produces relative lowering of vapor pressure by 0.1. So what you have to see, we have to calculate the molecular mass of the solute. So you will simply use the formula of RLVP, which is relative lowering of vapor pressure, to calculate the molecular mass. So your 10 seconds to solve this question starts now. So let us see how can we solve it. So moving on to the solution. For those who have solved, the correct answer is C. So what is the relationship between the molar mass of solute and the relative lowering of vapor pressure? So this is given by this formula. So this is the relative lowering of vapor pressure. Okay. Now again we have neglected the number of moles of solute in the denominator. So that will give you this thing finally. Okay. Now if you put all the values, 12 grams, 108 grams, then you can simply calculate this MB, because you already know MA. So putting these values, 18 gram, delta P 0.1, which is this whole value. Relative lowering of vapor pressure is given and not lowering of vapor pressure. So therefore we can put 0.1 instead of this all. So if you put all of these values, it will give you this equation. Now we will rearrange this equation to get the value of the molar mass of B. That will be 20. Okay, 20 gram per mole as your correct answer. So because we have to calculate in 20 gram in gram per mole, so we don't need to worry further. Now moving on to the next question. Question number 22. The Henry's law constant for the solubility of N2 gas in water is 1 into 10 to the power 5 atm at 298 Kelvin. The mole fraction of N2 is N2 in air is 0.8. The number of moles of N2 from air in 10 moles of water at 298 Kelvin and 5 atm pressure is. So what is being said in the question? The question is saying that the Henry constant is already given and the mole fraction of N2 is already given. Now what you have to find? You have to find the number of moles of N2 from air that is dissolved in 10 moles of water at 298 Kelvin and 5 atm pressure. So your options are A 4 into 10 to the power minus 4, B 4 into 10 to the power minus 5, C 5 into 10 to the power minus 4, and D 4 into 10 to the power minus 6. So 10 seconds to solve the question starts now. So your time is up. Let us see how can we solve this question. For those who have solved, the correct answer is A. So according to Henry law, we know that Kh into chi is the pressure of the given substance, where Kh is the Henry constant. Now, number of moles of H2O, number of moles of N2 is equals to number of moles of H2O multiplied by pressure of N2 divided by Kh. How we have written this? So again, we have neglected the number of moles of N2 in with respect to H2O. So we have written this thing multiplied by pressure. So we know that mole fraction equal to P of N2 into Kh. So this was the formula, or Kh into we can write that. So what we will write? So Kh into Pn2 is equals to mole fraction. Now putting all these things here, you will get Pn2, then chi into N2 into P. Clear? Means P of N2, chi of N2 multiplied by P. So that will give you Pn2 as 4 atm. Now number of moles of N2 will be how much? So it will be 10 into 4 by 1 into 10 to the power 5, which is 4 into 10 to the power minus 4 as your correct answer. Clear to all of you? Moving on to the next question. Question number 23. For a dilute solution, 2.5 gram of non-volatile, non-electrolyte solute in 100 gram of water, the elevation in boiling point at 1 atm is 2 degrees Celsius. Assuming concentration of solute is much lower than the concentration of solvent, the vapor pressure of the solution is, your options are 724, B 740, C 736 and D 718, where Kb is 0.76 Kelvin kg per mole. So how we'll solve this question? So in this question, what is being given already? The thing which is already given is elevation in boiling point, which is 2 degrees Celsius. Okay, and they are adding 2.5 grams of non-volatile thing to 100 gram of water. So you will use the relative lowering of vapor, the elevation in boiling point to solve this question. So your 10 seconds to solve this question starts now. So your time is up. Let us see how can we solve it. For those who have solved, the correct answer is E. Means the correct answer is E. Now the formula for elevation in boiling point is delta T by kbm. Kb was already given 0.76, and m can be calculated by N2 by W1 into 1000 by 1000 multiplied by 1000. So we are dividing W1 by 1000 to keep the value in grams. So putting all the values, so 2 is equals to 0.76 multiplied by N2 multiplied by 1000 by 100. So N2 is what? N2 is the number of moles of 2, second component. Okay, that is the non-volatile one. So if this thing is to be solved further, we get N2 value is 5 by 19. Clear? Now from Raoult's law, we know that delta P by P dot is equals to chi 2. We know this. So further, we have placed N1 plus N2 as N1, and hence if you put all these values, 760 into 5 into 18 into 19 into 100, we will get this as 36 millimeter of Hg. Okay, so this was the thing we were interested in, right? So what will be the value of P? It will be finally 724 mm of Hg as your correct answer. Now moving on to the further question. Question number 24. An aqueous solution freezes at minus 0.86 Celsius, and Kf is given as 1.86 and Kb is given as 0.512 Kelvin kg per mole. What is the elevation in boiling point? Your options are 0.186 degrees Celsius, B 0.512 degrees Celsius, C 0.86 degrees Celsius, and D 0.0512 degrees Celsius. So 10 seconds to solve this question starts now. So the time is up. Let us see how can we solve this question. So for those who have solved, the correct answer is D. So delta TF equal to T naught F minus F TF. This was the formula, right? So we have used this formula 0 minus 0.186. That is equals to 0.186 degrees Celsius. So this is the depression in freezing point. Okay. So KF is delta TF equal to KF into M. We have heard this formula. So we are using this formula only because we know the KF, we know the M. We only need to calculate delta TF. So that will give you 0.0512 degrees Celsius as your correct answer. Clear to you, all of you? So in this way you will solve this question. So this was all today for today's question session. Thank you.